Let's talk about Solitaire, why it sucks, and what I'm doing to fix that. Hi, I'm Clive. I'm the solo developer behind Space Cat Solitaire, which is a roguelike solitaire adventure set in a neon 80s inspired galaxy that is entirely dominated by cats, of course. All right, Solitaire. I have a love-hate relationship with Solitaire. I love the quick games. I love the simple set of rules. I love that it appeals to the puzzler within me, but it is incredibly boring. The game loop is repetitive. Once you learn the set of rules, the only thing that changes is how the cards land. And that to me is only appealing for a few rounds, a half a dozen hands. Secondly is the randomness. And randomness can be fun. I like randomness when it causes your thinking to shift, but if it is the sole reason as to whether or not you win or lose, then it's not as fun. Like Klondike Solitaire, for example, which is the version of Solitaire that most people's grandma taught them. You know from the moment the cards have hit the table whether it's a winnable hand or not. And I want you to be able to win because of your wits and logic, not because of a random shuffle. Third, and this is not going to matter to everyone, but Solitaire has no style whatsoever. And not every game has to be like laser beams and explosions, but Solitaire is minimalist to a fault. When you think of Solitaire, you think of green felt and basic playing cards and really flat sound effects of picking up a card and putting it onto another stack. Put all this together and Solitaire is basically a game for masochists.
Why would you say something so controversial yet so brave?
And I've been guilty of enjoying Solitaire, so I understand. I am part masochist. But also, there's gotta be a better way. Enter Space Cat Solitaire. Okay, so I started with what I thought was one of the most fun types of solitaire that I've ever played. A variant called Fortune's Foundation. It appeals to two really distinct parts of my brain, the planner and the organizer. So every card starts out revealed, and I can see and plan a few turns in advance. I want to access a particular card, I can come up with a plan to try to get to it. I have multiple choices of how to work that plan out. It also appeals to the organizer in me because as I get closer and closer to solving the puzzle, the cards naturally start to organize into orderly stacks. And the other thing is yes, I did use the word solve because it actually feels like you're playing a puzzle instead of a game of solitaire. Again, that you're just hoping and praying to the solitaire gods that you have a winning hand. This, I actually feel like I have some wits, some choices, some strategies that I can use to give myself a better chance at winning. So if you're asking, well, why should I play Space Cat Solitaire when I could just play Fortune's Foundation instead? My answer to you would be play both, because Fortune's Foundation is an exceptional game. It's part of the Zachtronics Solitaire collection, and I highly recommend this game for any solitaire enthusiast. It is a must-have game for your collection. That being said, this game is also extremely punishing and also extremely difficult. I still only win maybe 1 in 4 games, and I still feel the frustration of losing just because I got an unlucky deal. And I don't like that feeling. I want to, again, feel like I have a bit of agency. So Space Cat has a range of difficulties. At easy and medium, games are generally winnable every time. If you prefer more of a challenge, there's also hard and very hard mode, which are not a guaranteed win. This game is really designed to be dialed into your preferred level of difficulty. So if you want to pop in and play around while you're waiting in line at the market, you can do so. Okay, so you might be saying, big deal, you added a difficulty slider to a game that already exists. Why should I play your silly cat game? And the answer is modifiers. So I didn't want to just have you learn the rules and then master that one set of rules. I wanted to keep the game fresh. I wanted to keep each deal feeling like it was different than the prior deal. So I added effect cards, and effect cards change the mechanics of each game. And these are things like asteroids, which are suitless cards that act as obstacles, flipped cards, so maybe you don't always know where every single card is located, but you can kind of try to deduce which cards are where. There's a bunch more that I haven't revealed yet, and I want to keep some surprises for when you play the game yourself. But there is a lot of variation and options. Oh, here's my cat, or one of my cats. This is Scallop. Oh, you just got yoinked. Ugh, he's going to be angry that I picked him up. Now, modifiers are great and all, but I didn't stop there because, again, I wanted to create a solitaire that is an evolution of the game. So, of course, I added adventure mode, which can best be described as that roguelike experience. It's somewhat akin to Balatro, and I hesitate to say that because I don't want to get into a discussion about whether this game is or isn't just like another Balatro. The game has a few of those elements that are evocative of Balatro, and in my opinion, finally does Solitaire justice. It does something different, fun, unique, exciting, and adds a meta layer of strategy over top of your standard Solitaire. Let's get to the theming. Space and cats. Why? I get that question a lot. Why space? Why cats? Well, okay, so you already know that I wanted to get rid of the green felt and boring playing cards, and I had to put something else in their place. And I just so happen to be a fan of both space and cats independently. I'm wearing my NASA shirt today. Space works well because it's kind of a blank canvas. You can add whatever you want to it. And I wanted this game to be colorful. This game is colorful. There are bright, vibrant neon colors, and the colors really emphasize the satisfying feeling of organizing your cards into like-suited stacks. It starts out as this chaotic mess of colors everywhere, and as you progress, the colors all fall into alignment with one another. And again, it feels really satisfying to play and to win, especially on harder difficulties. Then the cats. Okay, the cats are cute, sure, but also these cats are characters. They all have their own personalities and backstories, and you'll actually get to learn about those backstories in the story mode. I was inspired by games like Is This Seat Taken?, which on its own, again, could have just been a very sterile logic puzzle about placing people into particular seats. But the thing that gives the game its charm is its story. It's the reason for being on a bus, or the reason for being at the concert, or at a restaurant. And so it just ties it all together in a little bit more cohesive way, and just adds that bit of charm. And the same is true of Space Cat Solitaire. The story is there. I think it's great, clever, fun, witty, cute, and I think you're going to love it. That's all I wanted to cover today. The game is coming out soon, wishlisted on Steam. Tell your friends. Join the playtest. You'll get early access to the newest modifiers, and I could really use your feedback, especially if you are a solitaire enthusiast. I'll have more videos coming out soon talking about the development process of the game, so if that interests you, subscribe, like, engage, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Be well, be safe, and I will see you out there in the Milky Way galaxy. Bye.